Good afternoon, Easton. I'm Carrie Rapolo, and this is the Shoveltown Scoop, Easton's news program brought to you by ECAT. Today is Wednesday, September 23rd, 2015. We will be recapping some important town hall meetings that have taken place over the past week. Today we'll be kicking off the program with a notice from the Easton Public Schools. They have a new website up and running, and although it is under construction, Superintendent Andrew Keogh has tweeted out that it is headed in the right direction. The homepage has the most up-to-date school calendar and links to many important school-related information. If you'd like to go ahead and take a look, you can go to their website at easton.k12.ma.us. Also mark your calendars for this quick update here that the school committee monthly public meeting scheduled for October 1st has been moved to October 8th. And this just in, breaking news, a citizen's petition has been filed with the town clerk to put on the warrant for the special town meeting in November to appropriate up to $70,000 for the operational audit of the town budget, including the schools. The school committee will be meeting this Friday, September 25th, to discuss a plan for the proposed audit in regards to the Proposition 2.5 override that the school committee is advocating. Up next is a short clip from the Board of Selectmen meeting with Town Administrator David Colton recapping the comparative budget analysis which was presented at the September 16th Budget Subcommittee meeting. If you'd like to see the presentation in full, you can go to eastoncat.org and search for the Budget Subcommittee meeting from the 16th. But right now we're going to show you that short clip.
We gave a presentation on a sort of a comparison study of educational spending in Easton versus a group of towns of 12 towns that were comparable in terms of student population and median household income, and found that Easton does lag behind those comparable communities in per pupil spending, both from general fund revenue and grants, fees and other funds. So, that was discussed, and we're in the process of modifying that those parameters that we used in that report based on the feedback from the committee, and we'll be publishing that report soon, as soon as we can revise the numbers that we were asked to add. We also compared not only the spending, we compared results. We compared SAT scores, graduation rates, advanced placement test taking. We were asked to add MCAS scores from the 5th grade. We were asked to look at percentage of total town budget spent on education, and one other factor that's eluding me right now. But we're in the process of adding those to the spreadsheet, and we'll be publishing that online and distributing it to the budget subcommittee and the selectmen and everybody else who's involved in the process.
At the same meeting, Selectwoman Carol Nessler handed out a brief summary of a study that she conducted about other towns' operational audits and their school budgets, and according to everyone she spoke with, they were all very happy with the outcome of the audit. I have a short clip here with that.
For a different reason. And everyone that I spoke to was very happy with the results they got. There wasn't one person who wished they hadn't done it. There wasn't one person who said, even in the communities that had very low per pupil spending, they all felt that they saw savings that at least exceeded the cost of the audit.
In response to that, school committee member Lori Hahn voiced her concern about wanting to take the time to meet with the school committee and discuss the upcoming evaluations and audits that are currently being performed within the schools already, thus avoiding a time-consuming audit and spending about $70,000 of the town's money. Newer member of the school committee, Sean Mullen, brought up the point that the town has hired a firm to seek out and identify and recruit a highly educated superintendent to effect the leadership and change in the schools. Here's a quick video of that.
In the sense that the cost and the time completely depends on the scope of the audit. So if we're going to do a full, in-depth audit of every committee in town, he said it could cost tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars and months to years to complete. Now, that's for the Board of Selectmen and for the town to decide what they want to do, but I would like to just echo Carolyn's point that we hired a special firm to seek out, identify, and recruit a highly educated superintendent to come to Easton and affect educational leadership and change. And if we're going to put the school and the town through that process, that is going to take a lot of their time that is not spent trying to improve the school district. And the other thing I think that is pretty clear to me from having gone to every town meeting in the last 5 years, I don't know what the historical ideal level for the stabilization fund may be, but I would wager to bet that regardless of what the outcome of this audit is, and I'm not saying we should do it or we shouldn't do it, but that regardless of what the outcome is, we're almost certainly going to need a Proposition 2.5 override in any case.
Ultimately, whatever the outcome of the school committee's decision to approve the recommendation of an audit or not, David Colton did specify that under the Education Reform Act, the school committee is empowered to make their decision and how this is going to be handled as it is within their rights. So stay tuned for more information on the audit and the Proposition 2.5 override discussions, as we will be following all of that information as it comes to us. As a reminder, you can watch most of those meetings broadcast by Easton Community Access Television. Our website is eastoncat.org, and you can search for those meetings by their name or date. Another important topic that was brought up at the Board of Selectmen meeting from September 21st was Chief of Police Gary Sullivan discussing his concerns about the current budget and hoping to increase that to meet the demanding needs for the Easton Police Department for the next fiscal year. Here's a meeting of the chief talking about that.
So I did a personnel comparison with 11 other towns, not only around us, but in our general area. And what I found was, or what I did was I called the chiefs of police of each agency. I asked them, how many police officers do you have appropriated for your department? And then I went on to U.S. Census to find out what they had a population. And my point was to try to determine what they had for an average number of officers per 1,000 residents. And here's what I discovered. The national average of officers per 1,000 residents is 2.3. The departments in this survey, the average was 1.9 officers per 1,000 residents. In Easton, we have 1.5. We are tied with the town of Bridgewater with the lowest number of officers per 1,000 residents. And I think that's something that we need to look at as well. I think our community has grown a lot since 1988, 1989. We are far busier. We're dealing with more violent crime than Easton has in my 20 years of being here. We are not to compare ourselves to any city. We're not going to pretend we're having the same types of problems that they do, or the frequency of problems. But we do have those problems, and at a lower scale. And I think we need an appropriate number of staff to address those problems and to look at things such as employee fatigue. We have officers working a lot of overtime because the staff is just not there oftentimes. Some of it could be vacation, sick time use, holidays, and time off. But we have a lot of fatigued officers, and I'm concerned about having a fatigued officer in a car, a police car, responding to emergency calls and being responsible for restricting people's freedom of movement. They have firearms and less lethal tools on their belt. That's a concern for me.
In response to the chief's concern, Town Administrator David Colton did say that they would be making an effort to the upcoming budget to improve staffing and training for the Easton Police Department in the next year, and Dan Murphy echoed that sentiment by voicing his concern over the current heroin epidemic. Here's a video of that.
So we will be making an effort this year in the upcoming budget to improve staffing and training.
I think we all know that the world has changed, and I think for me, I think the heroin epidemic has really driven that home more than anything. And I think it drives other issues as well, I'm sure, as you know. But it's important to hear specifically what's going on and what you guys need. I think we need to hear that every once in a while, and it's one thing to know it, and it's another to sort of recognize it and act on it. So thanks for coming in.
All right, so some very important safety concerns there. Also, as a reminder, the special town meeting date is scheduled for November 16th, 2015. Okay, so moving on, the Recreation Department has sent out their latest fall 2015 schedule of sports for Easton residents. If you'd like to sign up for any of these sports, You need more information, you can find it all at the easton.ma.us and search for the Recreation Department. And there are some deadlines listed there about some of the programs to sign up for. All right, so the Green Communities Committee has announced the second annual Greenness of Easton Award. The town of Easton wants to hear from you regarding those who are working hard to make a green difference in our town. Please send in your nominations for those with the best sustainability practices. Once nominations are received, the Green Communities Committee will act as a selection committee, guiding the final decision of the Board of Selectmen. Nominations are due by Wednesday, September 30th at 4:30 at the town offices. At the top of your screen is the most up-to-date Oliver Ames sports schedule. If you'd like more extensive updates on the Tigers, you can check out hockomocksports.com. They do a great job of summing up the leagues. They feature highlights of athletes along with the latest standings and schedules. All right, so coming up, the Chamber of Commerce is hosting a business breakfast at the Queesit on the Pond tomorrow, Thursday, September 24th, from 7:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock in the morning. If you'd like to purchase tickets to this event, you can go to their website, which is easton-chamber.com. Okay, so let's take a look at what weekend events we have planned here for Easton. Friday and Saturday, the 25th and the 26th, is the Shoveltown 10-Minute Play Festival over at the Oaks Ames Memorial Hall. There will be 8 10-minute plays with people aged 10 to 70 participating. You can go to oaksameshall.org for tickets. Also, a very important event taking place at the Easton Police Department is the 10th National Prescription Drug Take-Back Program. This is going to be held this Saturday, the 26th, at the Easton Police Department, 46 Lothrop Street, from 10 in the morning till 2 p.m. You can bring in your expired prescription medication, and they will properly dispose of it safely. If you cannot make it to this event, they will have a 24-hour kiosk available in their lobby for you to deposit any old or unused prescription drugs. Also taking place on Saturday the 26th is the Autumn Fest at the Holy Trinity Lutheran Church, which is located here in North Easton on Lincoln Street. They'll be collecting non-perishable items for the food pantry, along with hosting a fun family event for everyone in our community. On Sunday the 27th from noon to 3 is the South Shore Great Pumpkin Challenge Weigh-In. That's going to be held over at Palm Landscaping on Depot Street. And then rounding out the weekend on Sunday the 27th is the YMCA Harvest 5K, 10K Road Race, which is going to be held at the Old Colony Y right here in Easton on Elm Street. If you'd like more information, you can go to racewire.com and search for the Harvest Road Race or event 3338. And we have some save the date reminders for you. The 3rd annual Antonio Volpe Bocce tournament is going to be held at the Easton Y on October 3rd. There's also a casino night at Stonehill College the same evening. And on October 4th is the popular community event of the annual Easton Fire Rescue Open House, held at 48 Lothrop Street from noon to 3. There's going to be a Jaws of Life demonstration at 2 o'clock. It sounds like another fun event is being planned there for kids and adults. And also held the same day is the 42nd Annual NRT Harvest Craft Fair from 10 to 4, which is a fun family event. You could always start your day at the NRT and then head over to the fire department and learn about family fire safety. Finally, on October 12th is the annual Children's Museum in Easton Play for Kids Golf Tournament. That will be held at the Easton Country Club, and you can get more information from their website listed here. All right, so that should do it for this week's Shoveltown Scoop. We'll see you next week with a recap of what's happening in town and following the most up-to-date town hall information. We'll see you here again next week. Good night.